This isn't anything we planned, but this was a very difficult decision for all of us. While the basic facts were very clear from the beginning, we also wanted to be sure that we were giving everybody a fair opportunity. It was not a decision we reached lightly or easily. There were some raised voices and a lot of tears. But I think we all feel good that we addressed all of the issues and fairly weighed everything that was presented to us. Thank you.
What made you decide that this was not a defense for an insanity? What was the linchpin to
Not to get into too much detail, but it came down to the question of proof of the affirmative defense. We found that when we balanced the testimony of the experts on both sides, that we could not find a strongly credible proof that the defendant was not aware and able to recognize what was going on. And it came down to that instruction from the judge about if you can't find proof of the affirmative defense, then the decision must be that not to consider that defense.
How did you work it through as a group?
We started out by making a statement that we were all going to be nice to each other. And we all, like I say, there were some raised voices and some frustration, but I think we all were able to, every one of us, able to step back and take a breath and recognize that we were all in this together. We were able to recognize the struggles of those, the emotional struggle of those who were on one side when we started versus those who were on the other side when we started. And I think we recognized that you can't fight that out, you have to talk that out. Fighting it out would have just made everybody more entrenched in the position they were in, and so we treated each other like we wanted to be treated.
Was there a big divide between those that felt that she was from the beginning?
I'm not going to give any numbers, but we were divided at the beginning. And we were divided until the moment we made the decision. But again, I think we really worked hard on not being adversaries with each other, but in truly trying to understand what everyone in the room was saying, which allowed people the opportunity to be able to gracefully change their position and not feel cornered and not feel like we were forcing a decision on anyone. So I feel like we all feel positive. I mean, it's going to take a while to get over this, but I think we all feel positive. We all felt heard in the room, and we all felt like we were allowed to arrive at our own decisions.
You're a father too, sir.
I am.
And I noticed that as the verdict was being read in later, you were all holding hands. I sense this bond between all of you that you a lot. Can you talk from the point of view of the father, having to be there and see what you had?
Right. I don't want to sound like it was easy to separate, but I worked very hard at not thinking about my own children. Personally, that's the only, I can only say that about me. It is horrifying to think of being in a position of having to experience or go through the process that the Crims had to go through. A parent seeing and experiencing and living through, and then having to go through the aftermath of all of that. But I think it was also incumbent on all of us in the decision process to try to not put ourselves in those positions, but to try to be separate. I don't know if that makes sense, but
Have
I, I don't know to speak for everyone, but they put me up here, so. We just, our heart goes to them. Again, we were simply a cog in the machine of coming to the answer that needed to, that was brought forth. And I think every one of us individually could feel the heartbreak and the agony when they were on the stand testifying, and as we watched all of the rest of the things unfold, it would be very easy for all of us to put ourselves in those positions. And so I guess I would say to them, from us as a group, thank you for being strong. Thank you for sticking this out and being able to come here and present your information and your viewpoint, and that we truly are sorry for your loss, and we hope that this helps in the process of beginning to move forward. My name, David Curtis. David, D-A-V-I-D, Curtis, C-U-R-T-I-S. I do not, no. I don't think so. I beg your pardon? I have two. They're 25 and 26.
Actually, I think I'll answer your question
Okay.
con Univision.
Muchas gracias. La pregunta sería básicamente lo que le han preguntado al señor Flores, que es cómo ustedes logran llegar a ese veredicto y qué tan difícil ha sido para ustedes vivir esta experiencia.
Bueno, primero que conteste esa respuesta, I'll say it in English. My Spanish is not the best, pero estoy practicando y creo que lo puedo dar. Sobre la decisión era tremendo difícil. Comenzamos divididos, pero al fin del día lo que queremos acercar es la verdad y queremos acercar una decisión que todos la sentimos bien. Era una decisión imposible, pensamos al comienzo, y hasta cuando ya por fin llegamos al verdicto de que era culpable, todavía es una cosa que es muy difícil para tomar la realidad. Pero al fin del día nadie lo tiene más difícil que la familia Krim, sus amigos. Everybody affected by this is one of the most difficult things that anybody has had to endure. Nunca, and I think I speak on behalf of everybody, nunca sería algo que la familia Krim siempre van a estar llevada en nuestro corazón, en nuestra fe, por la hora en el futuro.
Muchísimas gracias. ¿Cuál es tu nombre?
Alexis Reyes. I could do a better job with this, but I guess I want to say in the beginning, not that we were divided, but everybody felt individually how they felt. We felt very impassionate. Sometimes we got loud with each other. Sometimes a whole flurry of emotions got out there, but from the moment before everybody started discussing, we swore to ourselves to be respectful to each other, be respectful to the process, be honest with each other, and be graceful, be receptive, have an open mind. And that allowed us to, as David elaborated and touched upon, to come to the decision more gracefully. Still, it is, a reality that's still starting in today. But it's something that we feel confident that we did the right thing by the court, by the people, by the Krim family, and ourselves as well.
What did it make you feel like when you saw the family? What might have been wrong?
Before, or,
During the whole process.
it's difficult. I mean, considering myself, not even being a parent yet, I can only imagine, this case took us on so many realities, so many imaginative things, so many speculative things, envisioning so many scenarios. I'd be lying to you if I said I could envision or imagine what they're going through. But we hope that, our service here has, can certainly set us all free.
Alexis, was there a sticking point in terms of the negotiation process amongst you all?
It wasn't necessarily a negotiation process. In the end of the day, we promised to ourselves that we wouldn't necessarily bend I mean, we wanted everybody to remain true to what they believe. And it wasn't necessarily a negotiation or a trade-off. It was mostly voicing our concerns and helping, asking us, our respective other jurors, to help us come to the conclusion, or help us see what they're coming from. So I wouldn't describe it as a negotiation. I would describe it as the harmonizing of everybody all together and what the verdict was reached.
When you say you were divided, what was the issues that you felt like you guys had really pulled up today?
From
You want me to answer that?
But if I just to, I guess, finish off, in the end of the day, we can never take back what was done on that day, October 25th, in that apartment, and that was a reality that we understood. But at the same time, too, we feel that we had a charge and an obligation, as they say, you're innocent until proven guilty, and to weigh all the evidences and to see if there was any preponderance of the evidence that could outweigh the actual truth and the reality of the murders that occurred. And it took a lot of deliberation and, a lot of significant moments and highlights amongst us inside there. But I think I can speak on behalf of everybody. I say we feel great in the decision that we rendered.
I think we're probably good then.
Let's just